In 2017, during the Daily Journal annual meeting, Charlie Munger was asked about his thoughts on China, and his response offered a masterclass in how he views national progress, discipline, and economic intelligence. Let's listen closely and break down what he really meant.
What I like about China is they have some companies that are very strong and still selling at low prices.
Here, Munger starts by pointing out that China's market is filled with strong companies that remain undervalued. He's basically saying that from an investor's point of view, China is full of hidden gems, businesses with great fundamentals that haven't yet been priced fairly by the market. That's classic Munger, always looking for value where others overlook it.
And the Chinese are formidable workers, and they make wonderful employees, and there's a lot of strength in that system.
Munger has long admired cultures that prioritize hard work, education, and discipline, qualities that drive both business and national success. By calling the Chinese formidable workers, he's acknowledging their relentless work ethic and commitment to productivity, something he contrasts with the growing complacency he sees in the West.
And the Chinese government, it really tries to help its businesses. It does not behave like the government of India, which I don't think runs this country right at all.
Here, Munger highlights a key difference between China and the United States. He's praising the Chinese government's alignment with its business sector, implying that China operates with a sense of long-term coordination, a strategy-focused ecosystem where the state actively supports enterprise growth. This is Munger's blunt critique of American bureaucracy, or what he calls MBO, a reference to the bureaucratic, short-term thinking culture he often criticizes. In contrast, he sees China as more efficient and pragmatic, focused on tangible progress rather than endless policy debates.
And of course, I have to admire taking 1.5 billion people in a state of poverty up that fast. That was never done in the history of the world.
Now Munger turns philosophical. He calls China's economic rise one of the greatest achievements in human history. And he's right. Lifting over 1 billion people out of poverty in just a few decades is unprecedented. For Munger, that's proof of discipline, planning, and sacrifice on a national scale.
What they've done is just an incredible achievement. And they've done it not by borrowing money from Europe or the way we did when we came up.
Here, Munger makes a striking comparison. He's reminding us that while Western nations often grew through debt and foreign borrowing, China achieved its growth largely through internal savings and reinvestment. When he says they saved half their income when they were poor, he's emphasizing a cultural strength, the ability to delay gratification for future reward. That's something Munger deeply respects, both in individuals and nations.
So it was unbelievably admirable and unbelievably effective. So I admire that part of the Chinese picture.
This is pure Munger admiration. He's describing the Chinese model as both morally admirable and economically efficient, the kind of disciplined success story he loves to study.
The Chinese have one problem. The problem with the Chinese people is they like to gamble. And they actually believe in luck. Now that is stupid. You don't want to believe in his luck, you want to believe in odds. And China, there's some reason in the culture, too many people believe in luck and gamble. And that's a national defect.
But of course, Munger never gives unqualified praise. Here, he points out what he sees as a cultural flaw, a national tendency toward gambling and belief in luck. This is vintage Munger, brutally honest and deeply logical. He's saying that success comes from rationality, not superstition. Believing in luck, he warns, is dangerous. It blinds people and nations to the real power of probability, discipline, and skill. In other words, fortune favors the prepared mind, not the gambler's heart. For Munger, this national defect doesn't erase China's greatness, but it's a cautionary reminder. Even a powerful nation can be held back by irrational beliefs if they overpower reason. In just a few minutes, Munger captured the paradox of China, a nation built on savings, hard work, and long-term vision, yet still wrestling with its cultural obsession with luck and risk-taking. His message, though, goes beyond China. It's a lesson for every investor and every country. Real progress isn't built on luck. It's built on patience, logic, and discipline. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more rare moments of wisdom from Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett.